Carrie Tollefson spends much of her time running on trails just like this. She grew up in a small town in western Minnesota. She knew she loved to run. She probably didn't know how good she could be. She's still running with a bit of a different purpose. Carrie Tollefson grew up in an athletic-minded family. That's where she started to run.
Oh, I was actually just looking at my first picture my mom brought up of my very first race. It was when I was 5 years old. And ironically, I had on Adidas shorts and this little shirt that had the Olympic rings on it. And, you know, I started running with my family, and that's really how we got started. I didn't necessarily love running until probably 9th grade, even though I had won state championships and I had done some amazing things.
Once she figured out she loved it, she became the standard, winning state titles in high school, then the NCAA crown at Villanova. With an obvious determination, it helps explain some of her success.
For me, I think it's really been determination and focus. And I absolutely love what I do. You know, I think about it right when I wake up, and it's the last thing I think about when I go to bed. And it's not an obsession. It's just something that makes me feel good.
That's her mindset, learning what she wants out of life and deciding that her life will not be about sitting and waiting. That took her to a spot on the Olympic team.
I do think why I'm a good runner is because I'm very focused and I'm passionate about what I do. I want to see what Carrie's made of. You know, I want to see how I can live my life to the fullest, and I don't want to float. I try to tell everyone that we're not here to float through life. We're here to see what we're made of. And so running does that. You either get to the finish line first or you don't. And so you're kind of checked every day.
Not bad for someone who really enjoyed another sport more than running. Basketball. Dawson, boy, I mean, that's basketball country. That was really your first love.
It was. I started playing basketball when I was 5 as well.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to have Sherry Norgard, who was a top 5 Minnesota basketball pick our senior year. And on my team, she went on and played pro, and you know, I was her point guard. So it was amazing. It was great.
She's training again for what she hopes will be a spot in the 2012 Olympic Games. Her workouts seem intense. This bill fit for 10?
This is 15. 15. Up, down, up, down.
Even for a sports reporter. Hurdles next? I'll catch up to you guys, okay? But like when you're done with this, are you exhausted, or how do you feel?
Yeah, it's a different exhausted. It's not like going for a 10-mile run.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
But it's harder for me, I think, than most athletes that are used to power lifting, sprinting, and you know.
What does the power do for you if you're a distance runner? Why incorporate that in?
Well, I think for me, what Bill and I are working on is this sort of like speed endurance at the end of the race when I'm getting tired.
That's what you're looking for here?
I gotta activate my core and my hip flexors. And
she does it under the watchful eye of Bill Welly. He's trained a number of high-profile professional athletes, tailoring an individual workout to meet goals.
I mean, for any athlete, it's from here to here. When a lot of people talk about core, it's the abs, it's actually here to here. So everything in here is going to dictate what's going to happen to you.
There is something different this time for Tollefson, who has endured a series of injuries over the past 5 years. But that's not what makes this training period unique. She is, for the first time, 4 months pregnant.
I'm scared. At the same time, I'm very, very excited that it happened as soon as it did. Charlie and I are thrilled. You know, I would have probably liked to have had a child after the Athens Olympics, but I was very injured. And so we waited, and I wanted to get back in 2008, and I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't fit enough, I wasn't strong enough. So to have the opportunity to have this baby now is a blessing in disguise. I know it's just gonna be able to give Bill and I the opportunity to really get strong.
We've got to really be careful of the intensity level at which we go at. Obviously, Carrie's at a very high level athletically, and so what we're trying to do is say, okay, we could push you, like at the end of some of her workouts, she wants to get after it, and I'm like, okay, easy. We've got time.
You sense she is fueled by both, the challenge of motherhood and proving to herself that even with her and her husband adding a new child, you can still pursue your life's goal, returning to where she has been, to the Olympics.
It was amazing. I mean, I can't even really explain it. I think walking out the opening ceremonies with all the basketball players behind me and seeing tears in their eyes as well, I think it was something that I have to get back for. You know, if I don't, I'm so thankful I got there, but I want to be that fast mom. I want to be the girl that goes back and can get in the final and hopefully go for a medal.
She runs outdoors, even in the cold. It's not only how she trains, in some respects, it's how she relaxes.
I think about all kinds of things, but mainly I get pretty, like I said, pretty focused. I think about what the task is at hand and what the big goals are, and you know, I really want to do some great things with my career. I've done some already, but I want to do even more, and I think that's what I think about a lot of times. But then I also think about the beautiful weather, the beautiful, you know, trees, you know, all that kind of stuff. I get into like different zones, but I'd say the majority, I'm thinking about my dreams and hopefully carrying them out.
In fact, this is a combination intense drive towards a goal and recreation.
And I run with my husband and my dad, and I have built such great bonds on runs that it's an amazing thing. And so yeah, I have a lot of fun running on my own, but I think I cherish the time with my friends and my family out on runs even more.
Understanding that low impact is part of what she wants during her pregnancy, she comes here to Acua, a fitness center complete with an underwater treadmill.
Carrie can work out and not have the impact that she would have on land, so she can work out really hard in the pool with no impact and really keep herself in top condition.
2, 1, 30 seconds.
So she runs against the current, a new cutting-edge way to beat the pounding. This is how she can continue to work out, keep her new addition healthy.
5, 4.
You know, I'd like to go as long as I can. I think this is going to be a really good way for me. A lot of people that run through pregnancy have back issues or pelvis issues and develop, you know, injuries along the way. And I think, you know, we're playing it very safe. Obviously, the baby comes first.
That's Carrie Tollefson, not just looking for her own edge, she believes in teaching. Every summer she hosts a running camp. That's part learning how to stride, part learning how to grow.
Our motto is get after it, and you know, for me that's been a motto that sort of just says it all. No matter where you are in life, I think that you can get after it. And I try to tell even my 93-year-old grandma that. I'm like, come on grandma, it's time to get after it. You know, we got to live every day to the fullest. And I try to tell these kids that. You know, they come to learn about cross country and track, they come to learn about athleticism, but they also need to come and learn about how to be a leader, how to be, you know, confident. We all walk away from camp, I think, excited about being great people, and that's really my message, is not necessarily do you need to try to teach them how to get to the finish line first. It's about the journey getting there.
Something she picked up from her own parents.
They worked as hard as they could to come to everything I was in, and you know, they've taught me so much about what I am as a person, but also as an athlete. And we used to go home after every basketball game, after every track meet, every cross-country meet, and talk about what we did well. But then we also talked about how we could work on things.
That's why she is where she is, striving and working and wondering, will she be good enough in 2012? And what kind of a parent will she be?
I'm a little bit scared to be that athletic mom, because I am loud on the sideline, and I think my kids are probably going to be like, Mom, you're not allowed to come, but I have a feeling I'm going to be very hands-on. You know, I had such great parents, and I think that we are going to be the same way. We're just going to enjoy every part of being parents and hopefully very involved with our kids, but I hope my kids want to be involved with us as well.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.